But any tips for investors or capital raisers in the room, which most seem not to understand if they haven't spent 10 years doing or 30 years doing what you all have done investing? Like a most valuable insight to leave them with today?
I think if you don't, capital raising to set it all up, you have legal, you have PPMs, you have start up with marketing. If you don't really have $300,000 set aside to $500,000 to be able to go raise capital with, stay out of the game. Save your money until you do. Go find that solution first, because getting out and raising capital is always there's bumpy roads, and you're going to get feedback that'll help you redesign your pitch, and those are expensive lessons, and a lot of people just start out without enough money to get them to the end zone, and that's in my view the most important thing is having staying power.
Right, makes sense.
I think the most important thing from my perspective from both sides of this equation is trust, right? So if you're an entrepreneur, you basically have one shot at building trust with an investor. And if you blow it, you can't get it back. So don't exaggerate, don't lie, be straightforward, be an open book. If I bust you on something that you have said half-truth, it's game over, right? And same thing for the investors in the room, right? If you have any reason not to trust that individual that you're thinking about making an investment in, you're not likely to do it, right? So I think we're still very much relationship driven, even in this day and age, even though all these deals are flying around, the ether, it is still about the person-to-person connection. And can I trust this person? And, money follows trust.
Right. I think that's a great point. Many times I think also if you find out something is a half truth, you might just move on to the next deal, and that person might not even get your feedback or know why it wasn't even worth responding to them, because what they said one day was completely different than the next month. And then you're just moving on to the next thing. You don't have time to explain what they messed up.
Yeah. And I think Brian said it earlier too, like he hates this phrase of fake it till you make it. And I absolutely agree, because I think entrepreneurs often, they get the wrong message that like, oh, I have to really, exaggerate this, or I have to really, make it seem like everything's so great. And to me, that just engenders mistrust. So that's I think really bad advice.
Yeah, I think everybody needs to hear that, because like what Brian is saying is that you should document your journey and then ask genuine questions to someone on your podcast or that you're interviewing on stage, because you're trying to learn yourself, and then people can learn along with you rather than pretending like you're the global expert on some topic while you're still learning, right? You see that all the time. Russell?
You have a course that you offer. It's Certified Capital Raising Specialist. Mm-hmm. Fabulous course, Richard.
Oh, thanks.
In there, they say, hey, how do you get money from family offices? And the advice is this: go ask the family office for advice. If you have a business, start with the 10 family offices that you would really like to actually do business with, and go to each one of them and say, I'm doing this. And as Richard said earlier, they're all founders. They've all been in that terrible spot of not having enough money. So they may resonate with you. So if you ask them for their advice, they will give you what you need in terms of a next step or an alteration of what you're doing, so that you can build momentum with the audience that you ultimately want to do business with.
Right. There's a saying in the industry saying that if you want capital, ask for advice. And if you want to get advice, ask for capital, because maybe all you're going to get is advice. Cliff, is there anything that you would add, like a final comment, insight? No? Okay. Do we have a question anywhere in the room? If you want to raise your hand, we'll bring the microphone over to you. Yes, go on up front.
So matching, right? So I know, Richard, you have a platform, right, where you can help, I guess, the right founders or the right opportunities and the right investors to find each other. Right. So what I'm hearing is that there are very strict sort of criteria. Sometimes it can be hard to actually get to the right people. Any suggestions for that?
Any suggestions for Russell? Go ahead.
In any industry, there are its leaders, the people who really deeply understand that industry. If you are a founder, and again, utterly asymmetric, you're going to take space from everyone else. You should have actually talked with them in the building phase. So as a founder, one of the first things you'll do is make your advisory board, right? Should be a reservoir of people showing you things about what you should know to actually stand out. I don't know who said it earlier. Maybe it was Brian, but you really do have to be the very best. There's no getting around that. Am I wrong?
Anyone else want to comment on that question?
Yeah, I mean, I just think, this industry in particular is all about the warm introduction, right? And I think a lot of people spin their wheels on cold outreach, which to me just is a total waste of time. So figure out how to get the warm introduction. Make your target list, figure out how to get a warm introduction. That is the only way really in, and people will give you all kinds of examples of the alternate views, but in practice, that's going to be your 80-20 rule, right? And everyone has a network. So when you say to me, oh, I can't get to this person, then you haven't tried hard enough, or you don't believe in your own product enough to go that distance and get to that connection point.
Yeah, I found that one way to make something cold not cold, obviously, is if it's through a referral or they know you, then it's not cold. But then if it's in your industry or you're raising money for something medical and you go someone who's local to you and made their money in medical, then the opportunity won't feel as cold. But if they don't know your industry, they don't know you, and they're not local to you or the opportunity, then it's so 100% cold. It's a complete waste of time, in my experience. Any other quick questions in the room? If you want to raise your hand, we'll bring the microphone over. Otherwise, any last comments from someone on stage? You wanted to share something else you prepared for today?
Well, I would just like to give a shout out to Hawaii. If you're interested in getting in touch, you can find me as one of the people here representing the ecosystem in Hawaii. There is a tech scene here. There's a startup scene and there is an investor scene. So if you're interested in engaging at all with what's happening in Hawaii, come find me.
And there's also a very good conference that she puts on called East Meets West, which is a fantastic way of learning about what's going on in Hawaii and beyond that to Japan, South Korea, and pretty much the whole Pacific Rim.
Great. Yeah, that's one of the reasons we are here, because so much wealth is being created out of Asia as a percentage of new wealth. And, some of it comes to the United States, some Dubai, some Canada, Australia, et cetera. But we see Hawaii is right in between, the world's biggest economy and then the biggest wealth creation center, which is Asia. So I think a lot of people, besides just trying to enjoy life, being outside a lot, are here because of that East and West combination.
And I'd like to thank you, because what you brought up today and the tools that you're building, those are a big help. Those are those AI tools. I heard about those a couple months ago, and I was glad to hear you bring those up today. But those, if everybody wasn't paying attention, I mean, those are great tools that being part of your club allows us to use. Thanks for all your hard work there. Okay. And two, if anybody like to talk to us about our vineyard investments, we got a booth next door.
Awesome. Great.
If you're stuck and you want a little bit of advice away from here, you can give me a call. I won't bite.
All right. Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you. If you are a founder, raising capital, developing real estate, or you're an investor, would love for you to get involved in the Family Office Club. I've run this community for 18 years now. We've hosted 300 live events. We have 17 million social media group members and followers. We have the #1 YouTube channel on family offices. We have the #1 most popular podcast on family offices. You can learn more about us and our membership options at familyoffices.com. We have 30 in-person events planned in 2026 and another dozen events this year. Please go to familyoffices.com to learn more.